Okay, so here's another video for the rear. I already made one, but there was a couple of problems I ran into that I want to save you from, hopefully. So again, this is the 2015 Dodge Ram 2500. It's the diesel engine, 6.7 liter, and I've already have a video on there for the front oil, or the front fuel filter, but I want to show you the rear one and a couple of the problems that I ran into. So you're going to need a couple different things to start. Lots of paper towels. You're going to need your filter, and then you're going to need a pair of channel locks, some needle nose, and a compression clamp. You can use the bucket over there, like $3.99 from O'Reilly's, or my favorite is the 44-ounce Coke Cup. It rests against the nipple of the sensor that goes into the bottom of your fuel filter, and it sits on top of the drive line, and it makes it so your arms don't go numb while you're waiting for it to bleed out. That's the part number from the one I got for my 2015. Now on here, it comes with this canister and then two gaskets that go with it. One of them goes around the sensor that goes into here, and it's a little bit hard to get off. That's why we have the needle nose over there, to make your life a little bit easier. It's brown. And then there's one on the other side that's this one right here, and it doesn't come on your filter pre-done, so you need to put it on there. And then just before installing it, put a little bit of diesel fuel around the top of it, so that it makes a nice good seat. So we'll climb under here and see if we can get a good view of it. And again, it's a one-man show, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing and I don't make you too sick while I'm climbing under here. Mine is it's located just straight up from here on that axle, and it's located just right underneath the frame. Or not under the frame, but under the truck bed. Some of them are located on the frame, and they're pretty easy to see. They still look exactly the same. But anyways, that'll give you an idea now. One of the reasons I'm making this other video is you can see how much diesel fuel is dripping off my driveline right now. Come to find out, there was a couple things that I didn't anticipate that I wish I would have. So this one is more of a, we're not going to actually do it, but we're going to kind of help you so that you can make good decisions while you're doing it, so you don't end up as dirty as I am. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do when you're replacing this filter is you have this little connector that's located right here, and that goes down that blue wire into your sensor right there. Right here in front is a little push button, so you push that in and then you pull it out. Took me probably 5 minutes to try and figure out which part I was supposed to push and which part I wasn't, so hopefully that makes your life easier. It's still hard to do with one hand, so just do the best you can, and I wish you the best luck on it. After you get that disconnected, just let it dangle. And then get your drink cup in right here, and you can kind of rest it on your drive line, and then twist this until fuel starts coming out. This is the bleed valve right here. So that'll probably take about 2-3 minutes to bleed all the diesel fuel off. Now this is one of the areas where I made my mistake. So this is under vacuum while it's sitting here. Even though you're bleeding it, air isn't sucking back in there effectively. And so once you grab your channel locks, and the next step is you take off your sensor. So taking off this sensor introduces air inside here, which then allows it to drain more freely. So once you get that leaking, like undone just to where it starts leaking, it'll leak out of that sill around there. Then put your cup back up there and wait for another couple minutes until it stops dripping again, or else you're going to end up with lots of diesel fuel on you. Now, for me, this was on too tight, and so when I tried to twist it off, it twisted the whole canister off. And once that canister started coming off, then it started really dripping. So if that's the case, and you're not prepared, just get it off really quick and dump it into your pan that's down here underneath you, and then it can finish draining that way. Then remember, this is plastic, so make sure you're going the right direction when you're taking it off so that you don't strip it. And then you just replace the gasket that's on the end of this sensor. It's brown. And then get that off, put it on your new one, and just get it so it's tight, not completely super tight. And then install, you can fill this filter up, which causes, you don't have to fill it. I mean, if you fill it all the way, it's going to be a mess putting it back on. I fill it about halfway, so it takes less cycles when you're turning on your truck. When you turn your key on and it goes click, 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 and you hear things making noise in the back of your truck, that's it priming the pump, all that kind of stuff. So do that about 3 cycles and then crank it over. And if it doesn't start after 5 seconds, stop, do a couple more cycles, crank it back on, and eventually your truck should start. I didn't know that the first time I did it, and it kind of puckered my butthole. So hopefully you don't run into that same situation. But yeah, pretty simple, right? Just crank it off, crank it back on, replace the sensor, make sure your gaskets are on there, and yeah, good luck with it, and hopefully you don't end up as messy as I am. Just remember to replace this this sensor wire back on there. Yeah, that should be everything, and good luck. Thanks for watching. Bye.